I thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank the ranking member and the full committee of rules for the opportunity to testify on H.R. 1865, the Allow States and Victims to Fight Online Sex Trafficking Act, or FOSTA. This legislation has been born sadly out of necessity, but has been a labor of love since the very first time I was elected to Congress some 5+ years ago. The bill is a result of meetings with trafficking survivors across the country who have been victimized by the online sex trade and unable to access either justice or relief in our court systems. Tomorrow's consideration of the bill is an historic achievement, a long-awaited clarification from this Congress that the businesses that sell our children online can no longer do so with impunity. It is a clear statement that there are serious legal consequences for websites that actively profit from the exploitation of our most vulnerable. It is a wake-up call to America's judicial system, making clear that Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act does not provide immunity to websites that are actively engaged in modern-day slavery. FOSTA is a recommitment to Americans that Congress never intended to create a system that allows businesses to commit crimes online that they could not otherwise commit offline. And it is in many ways just a simple statement of the obvious. Congress does not believe and did not ever believe that rape was a prerequisite of a free and open internet. This bill is a promise to our state and local law enforcement and prosecutors. Congress is making it clear that we believe in and support their missions to protect our communities. And combined with the Walters Amendment, which reinstates victims-centered provisions from my original bill, this legislation is a guarantee of the fundamental rights of the most vulnerable members of our society. It is a message to the children and victims who have been robbed of their basic dignities that Congress hears them and is responding to the injustices that they have faced. It has not been an easy journey to get this to this point. To find middle ground with the tech industry, the victims' advocates, to incorporate the concerns of prosecutors, to move this bill through committee and to get both FOSTA and SESTA, the Walters Amendment, to the floor. So I am very grateful for the many, many people who joined my crusade to restore justice to the brave children, women, and men across our country who have been sold online. I am grateful to Chairman Goodlatte and his entire team and staff for going that extra mile in helping us include a strong new crime that will enable prosecutors to better target online trafficking and prostitution. I am grateful for the Energy and Commerce Committee and the House leadership and their willingness to prioritize this issue and piece of legislation. And I must give big thank you to the Majority Leader McCarthy, our Whip Scalise, and Speaker Ryan for leading the way in doing the right thing for Americans' children and victims. I'm grateful for Senators Portman and Blumenthal, Senators Cornyn and McCaskill for carrying SESTA on their shoulders and advocating for a solution that allows victims to access the civil remedies that they deserve. I am grateful for each and every one of our 176 co-sponsors, many of whom personally stopped me on the House floor to hear and express their concerns about the victims of online sex trafficking, especially Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney and my dear friend Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, who fought the good fight on the other side of the aisle for a truly bipartisan solution. I am also so thankful for my dedicated staff who have poured their hearts, their minds, and their lives into this fight in more ways than the public will ever know. FOSTA, combined with SESTA, will produce better civil justice for victims, more prosecutions of bad actor websites, more convictions, and more predators behind bars. Because of this package, fewer businesses will dare to enter the sex trade, and fewer victims will be sold into sex slavery. Last but most importantly, I am in awe and grateful for the contributions of survivors in the fight to turn FOSTA and SESTA into law. It is heartbreaking to watch survivors struggle to piece together their lives all alone while a justice system shields the websites that sold them. That is why I introduced this bill, and that is why it must become law. Thanks to you, to our colleagues. When we vote for FOSTA and the Walters Amendment tomorrow, these survivors will know that they are not alone, and justice will no longer be out of reach. I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.